head back to our top story of the morning, the damning review of the Auckland Council response to the January 27 flood emergency. As you saw in the news bulletin, the investigation by former top cop Mike Bush has found the council's emergency management system was not prepared and senior leaders underestimated their roles. Sharon Stewart chairs the council's Civil Defence and Emergency Management Committee and joins us now on AM. Thank you very much for that, Sharon. Do you accept that the emergency management team dropped the ball that night?
Yes, I do, and I fully accept the report and the recommendations from Mike Bush and his team, and I think they've done a really honest job. And as an elected member, I think the responsibility really has to go back to the CEO. He's supposed to be, he's responsible for all the expectations of the event, and elected members were not operational. So we were really needing to hear from them. But I'd just like to say that communication was the big problem. I first found out about this by messenger. My daughter sent me a photo of a property out west that had flooded, and it's a street that I know very well, and I remember the New Lynn floods. When I saw that, I knew there was a problem. I hadn't actually been contacted, and I was really, really disappointed. I know Civil Defence, some of the key members and the AEM members all met about 5:48 on the 27th at the Civil Defence headquarters, and I would have liked to have been involved and told about that, but I didn't hear anything about it until I saw this on Messenger, and then I looked at social messenger and media rather, and so I then made a few phone calls.
Sorry, Sharon, can I just stop you there? Because you say that it comes back to the CEO, but you've been on this committee for, I think it's going on 10 years. There has been a report in 2018 which had recommendations about what to do and what planning needed to happen for an event like this. Is this not actually a collective responsibility of the people who are on the committee to have been better prepared for a situation so you weren't receiving your first information via social media?
Yeah, well, to be perfectly honest, we've had a director, we've had 3 general managers, we've had a lot of staff turnover, and it's been very, very difficult. And then, of course, we had COVID. So once we had COVID, the actual report that you're talking about, this is it here, the Auckland Civil Defence Emergency Management Plan 2016 to 2021, that was supposed to be revised in 2021, but because of COVID, that didn't happen.
And Sharon, I think people will understand and have some sympathy for you that you were all in a hard situation. There was a team that had a lack of experience, but people won't like to hear, oh, we had high turnover and so sorry, we dropped the ball, we weren't able to tell you about your homes that were being flooded, about people whose lives were at risk because, we just didn't have enough staff. I mean, that doesn't sound good enough, do you think, Sharon?
No, well, I quite agree. It doesn't sound very good, but I'd like to also just tell you that back in August 2022, there was, I'm just trying to find it here, I actually did bring up all these concerns. So I had been banging on about this for a long, long time. So the meeting in August 2022, 30th of August, you can have a look on live stream if you want to, the council's live stream. I did bring up about infill housing in areas, and I did actually say...
Yeah, okay, so clearly, I mean, this doesn't make it any better, Sharon, when it was clear that there were issues that were known and identified beforehand and a plan still wasn't in place. We appreciate your time this morning. And
well, to be perfect, just if I can just say, the NEMA, the government's plan was also out of date as well, but it just rolled over because of the COVID, and they decided that they were going to let it roll over. But I personally, there's a whole lot of things that I have been doing in the background that I have been trying to make sure that everybody is aware that there's some issues. And I said...
and in fairness to you, Sharon, it's not a job that one person can do. That is what is clear from this report. Thank you very much for joining us and for your efforts. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but I do appreciate you coming on the show this morning. That was Auckland Councillor Sharon Stewart, who is Chair of the Council's Civil Defence and Emergency Management Committee.
I'm sure Sharon is a very nice person, but after that interview, I do not have my faith restored in the system.
Yeah, I think
really
it's a collective responsibility.
But also trying to pass the buck, and that's the problem. You know, like when, as you said, kept trying to blame someone else. Oh, that wasn't in place. You are the chair. You're in charge. Sorry,